thank you for waking us all up out here.
For all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
All right, 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line. I always appreciate when you text in or a call or whatever's on your mind. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Our Thursday visit with a lot going on today. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, Drew. How you doing?
I'm well. I want to get something out of the way right away because I know it's something you've probably thought a little bit about this morning as you come onto this program, and I just want to clear the air and get this right. And I know you're ready for this. I gave up on the New York Giants weeks and weeks and weeks ago, so I don't want to hear about the Cowboys and how they destroyed the Giants. I get it. We stink. I get it. Thoughts?
I got nothing to say about it. Listen.
Okay.
Listen, I got nothing to say. My team, we went to Philadelphia. We lost.
Yeah.
We went to San Francisco, and we got bum rushed.
Yep.
So until we figure that out, I got nothing to say about pro football right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. That I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to come on and it was going to be that kind of conversation about how awesome the Cowboys are and your team and how horrible my team is, the Giants, because you still have a chance and we probably have another 5-6 years of nothing. But
I mean, look, I listen. I like my quarterback, but I don't love my quarterback. I really don't like your quarterback, but it is what it is.
Hey,
I got a lot of work to do. I like your coach, though. I like Brian Dable. I think you guys have an opportunity to turn it around.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some time.
Okay, I'll give you 2 words, and then we'll move on from this topic because people who know what's going on in the National Football League and especially in the NFC East probably have heard this already, a little bit of a buzz. I'll give you 2 words. Give me your thoughts. Giants, you ready? Here we go. Bill Belichick. What happens? Do they take him?
No.
No.
He doesn't come back, no.
So if he leaves the Patriots, the Giants should not take one of the greatest coaches of all time to turn the franchise around. Somebody who was there before in the past, who was there in the glory days.
You can be a great coach, but unless you have a great quarterback in this league, it don't matter.
Yeah. Unless we lose every single game and then get the number 1 pick, and then, hey, all bets are off. All right.
That's a 30% shot. Because, listen, first of all, nobody really thought C.J. Stroud was going to be C.J. Stroud. I mean, I know he did, but even coming out of that last draft,
right,
nobody thought C.J. Stroud was going to be this good.
Yeah. So
you just don't know what quarterbacks. They got to come in the league. You got to see it happen.
Yep.
You just don't know.
That's right. All right. This football moment brought to you by. Okay, we'll move away. Here we go. Hey, we had a CR that passed the Senate, obviously passed the House days ago. No government shutdown. Thoughts on the CR and maybe some of the details?
Well, I mean, look, I didn't like it. I didn't vote for it. The speaker was in a bad spot. I mean, look, here's the deal. You have a situation where you have a new speaker coming in, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer. They are together and united on this whole thing. And I just think that the speaker was in a real tough spot, and his decision was to just get through this so we can really, get a set up a fight for border security, amongst other things, over this supplemental and on government spending. And so, it's a tough situation for anybody. I advocated what I felt we should have done. The speaker decided to do it a different way.
Yeah,
you move on.
Yeah, I guess for some people that I talk to, and you probably hear the same thing, fight another day. Like we'll do it the next time until the next time comes around. And then we hear we're going to fight the next time. We continue to hear this. You have people like Chip Roy that are screaming about, listen, we don't have money for a lot of different things that we're spending on. And it continues to be, again, pushing things down the road. Will the next time be the time that we will fight on these issues? I mean, are we willing to go to the mat for this?
Yeah, we better. I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, because, look, a couple things are occurring in the background that people aren't really talking about. Moody's downgraded our economic outlook.
Yeah.
It's negative now. Now, why did they do that? part of the reason is because Congress continues to ignore the medium-term fiscal outlook of the country. Not my words; those are the words of Moody's. So that's number one. Number two, we know we're running a $2 trillion deficit. Number three, it's getting harder for the Treasury Department to actually place new bonds in the market. It's becoming a lot more expensive. So if you're going to continue government spending at the clip that we're doing, it's only going to make matters worse for the American people. With interest rates as high as they are, it's another $180 billion for every trillion we put out there.
Yeah,
We're going to put out another trillion before the election, Drew, if not more. So interest on the debt is now the biggest line item. It's bigger than the Defense Department. Think about that.
yeah. We talked
Interest,
about it. We
more
knew
than defense.
We knew it was coming.
All this is happening. Yeah. So at this point, House Republicans, our position has got to be very clear. We cannot continue to do this to the nation. And for the Democrats and Republicans in the Senate, they got to stop operating like this is 2004.
Yeah.
Where the national debt is, $5.5 trillion, $6 trillion, and you can still borrow money, even though everybody's saying we gotta fix our fiscal issues. You can't do that anymore. Secondarily, we know the border stuff is going on, but here's another thing that's happening. We passed an Israeli aid package where the House said we're going to take IRS money that was front loaded. The money's not been spent. It's sitting in a slush fund. We're saying take the slush fund money and use that to pay for the supplemental to support Israel. Every Senate Democrat voted no. Every one. They killed it the other day. And they did this right after they left the 250,000 pro-Israel rally on the National Mall. So Chuck Schumer and a bunch of Senate Democrats went out, gave speeches, took pictures, they shook hands. Then they went on the Senate floor that night and they killed an aid package supporting Israel. Only reason they killed it is because it took IRS money.
Yeah.
That's why they killed it.
A couple of things come to mind. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. A couple of things come to mind about that. Number one, I bet you there were a lot of Democrats there in that pro-Israel rally. And I don't know whether or not they're rethinking some of their vote. I doubt it. Seems like, that's where they are, no doubt. Democrats show up for these events, and it's all lip service. We know we see it all the time, the lip service of we support you and then turn around and do these things politically. The third part of it, and this is an important aspect of it as well, is the Biden administration greenlit $10 billion more. I mean, how often does this administration have to throw in people's face about where they stand and say one thing and then do another against Iran, who we know has been going after our troops overseas, and how many times? Like 40 plus times. If you blow up a couple of arms depots or whatever, but nobody. What is it? It's going to take casualties for you to wake up to that. I mean, that to me is something that's astounding as well.
The position that's being taken is because you have radicals in the Department of State.
Yeah.
Let me be very clear with you.
Yep.
There are some true radicals who are in this administration. And so for them, they're just trying to get all this work done, all of their crazy business done before Christmas. Because once you cross the new year, politically speaking, these people up here always believe the same thing. And unfortunately, it is kind of true that the American people do not remember this stuff until it's right before the presidential election.
Yeah.
Not all Americans, but there's a portion of Americans who are not paying attention to.
Oh. He just dropped. All right. Hopefully we'll be able to see if we can get him back. So, you're talking about the State Department and the radicals that are in there. And I wanted to bring this up to you because I wonder what you think about this, because I think this is genius. MSNBC had an article out that says if Trump wins in 24, he's got a dangerous tool for wrecking the government. And it's talking about how the Heritage Foundation is looking at doing something where they want to help the former president when he comes into office to say, okay, if he wins in the 24 election, here's what you need to do. Right away, let's get people vetted. Let's have the people that the president should be, the former president, once he's president once again, or it could be anybody, Republican. Let's vet people beforehand, get them ready and prepared so that we know exactly what needs to be done next, and in they come. It's clearing out some of the bureaucracy, getting people into positions that we can get hit the ground running, and then doing what we all want to see, which is cleaning house everywhere, from the State Department down, all over the place. I think that's a pretty decent idea. I don't know if you heard about that or what you think about that.
No, I've heard about it, and it's the right course. So, of course, NBC would issue propaganda to the American people saying that they're going to wreck the government. Our government is a mess, Drew. It is a hot mess. And the only thing propping it up are Democrat elected officials who don't want any changes. I want to say that again. They don't want any changes. The Democrats always talk about this, we're going to compromise over this. They don't want compromise. They want nothing to change because they're getting what they want, and it's destroying the country. So, yeah, I think President Trump, they got to be the next Trump administration has to hit the ground running. Yeah. And it's got to be a complete and total offensive on every aspect of the existing federal bureaucracy. This is the same bureaucracy that has lied to the American people. It spies on the American people. It's making rules in the background which harm the American people. And it's not because of them. It's not because they're trying to have the country operate under the confines of the U.S. Constitution, which is the law of the land. Oh, no. It's about them trying to shift the country based upon the ideological whims of the radical left and using the bureaucratic state to do it. Yeah. That's what's been going on this entire time. Right. And so, yeah, we got to hit the ground running on day one.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with getting into the details and the nitty gritty of different bureaucracies and areas of concern and cleaning it all out. And if the suggestion is, well, you're going to turn, the people are going to turn, they're going to say well, let them say, they're doing it now. They're turning now. They're saying all of these things. They're doing it now. So what's the difference? What are you trying to accomplish? At the end of the day, what is it that you're trying to do? What is your end goal? Is your end goal to save the republic? Is your end goal adhering to the Constitution, or is it something else? It's almost like when and I'm sure you probably heard on CNBC again just the other day. I think it was yesterday, where they were talking to Speaker Mike Johnson, and they were like, "Listen, we saw you guys praying, you and along with Greg Steube and some others. There's a photo of you and all you praying." For the speaker's race back in January, and there was a comment about, hey, there's a separation of church and state. Mike Johnson's like, well, hold on a second. Do I need to school you on church and state? Which he did, and I've got the audio I'll play later. But again, the putting that out there and having to explain to people, our constitutional republic, how we were founded, and what is your end goal? Like they're praying together because they want to see what? They want to see the destruction. Are they praying because they want to see the destruction of the nation? I mean, is that why they're doing that? Again, it's just these examples that you see of how you need to step into those places. And, the left is going to do what the left does, and they're going to want to burn things down. But I don't know if you saw that interview at all.
I saw pieces of it, but I think to a broader point, Drew, the reason why they're going after Donald Trump as viciously as they are is because Donald Trump was the one guy that stopped the radical left from accomplishing their overall goal. Let's go back in time. They got Barack Obama in 2008. There was going to be fundamental transformation. And that's when the left's agenda went into warp speed in the United States. They thought they were going to have Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton wasn't going to make any changes. She's a leftist, too. So she was going to just continue the operation, but Donald Trump got in the way. That's the real issue. They don't care about mean tweets. Yeah. They care about accomplishing their agenda and institutionalizing their agenda. And so that's what we have to be concerned about as conservatives and as Republicans. It's not good enough just to elect a Republican who's just going to manage the decline. That's not good enough. What you have to do is reverse course, and we have to institutionalize a constitutional agenda. It's not even a conservative agenda, Drew. It's just institutionalizing a constitutional agenda so the people's voices are always heard, not some bureaucrat and not some mega a billionaire who's in the weeds, a.k.a. George Soros and his family, who are just pushing for the society they want to have. And instead of running for office and doing it through the front door, they do it through dark money and side groups through the back door. And I've been saying for a while, if you want to see what real political warfare is going to look like, wait till Donald Trump becomes president again.
Yep.
And then he starts going through the federal agencies. Because and last point I'll make on it, that's going to be where the real warfare begins. And the reason why the press is going to be so opposed to it is because where do you think the press gets all their stories from? They get it from bureaucrats in the agencies who leak whenever there's a Republican administration. That's where they get the information from. And it's the same press people who stonewall for these bureaucrats in the agencies when a Democrat is in charge.
With anonymous sources. Heard it from a friend or heard it from a friend. They're not even giving you like the name of the person who said whatever they said or did whatever they did. They're just throwing out anonymous sources. Nobody's going to search to find out who the anonymous source is or where it came from. They're going to run with it. And by the time they have to, they get caught in something to retract it, the story's already weeks old. And they just move on to the next one. You don't have enough time to even catch up on that. So,
yeah, no, that's exactly it. So I think, look, for Republicans, the key thing is we have to just get our tactics in order, because what I've seen already in 3 years is that we agree on the mission, but tactically we just vehemently disagree.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, is really in front of Speaker Johnson, is to get everybody on the same page from a tactical standpoint so we can go and accomplish the mission the best we can.
Yeah. All right, Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, my friend. I appreciate you. God bless, and we'll see you soon, okay? All the best.
All right. See you, Drew.
Thanks.